Good morning, everybody. So today is the 18th. It's February the 18th, and today we're going to talk about friendships and how can you tell a real one from a good relationship from a bad relationship. Things you talk about in your friendships, things you should do in your friendship. I don't know, just everything I can think of about friendships. Well, not really everything, because I feel like it's actually a lot, but at least some key pointers and some key things you need in a friendship. Okay, so I would like to point out, it was a period of time when I was really like going through it, and this was within those 6 years that I keep quoting back to. Y'all, what is this paper? Yeah. So whenever I went into this phase, like I was saying, like I told y'all previously before, I cut it off. Like, I cut off everybody and didn't want to talk to anybody. The only people that I probably talked to was like maybe my sister and my mom and my grandma, but that's it. But I didn't really talk to any of my friends. And one of my friends reached out to me and she was like, Bree, she was like, don't stop talking to me because we're not gonna see each other every day. And she said, I just don't want you to leave, or because let me tell you why I will forever love her for that, because she knew exactly what was running through my mind and how I felt, and she knew I didn't want to deal with people no more. She knew what I was going through. But I did get to a point where I told her how I was feeling mentally, because I was very bad off mentally in my mind. And that's the reason why I'm always preaching about your mind and taking care of your mind and everything. But my mind was very bad off, and I was going through many things, and I didn't talk to anybody about it. I didn't even talk to my family about it, honestly, even though those were the people I talked to. But a lot of times when we're going through stuff, we don't talk to people about it, because I feel like a lot of us worry more about what the other family member would say, and also how they will feel, and then how they will look at us, So I did talk to her after I went through all these phases, when I was going through this stuff. But what I want to talk about this particular friend is, I just love her so much because she gave me the room, the space, and the time, and a season to get myself together. Okay, now let me say this. When you're in friendships, your friendships go through seasons, like all relationships. It go through seasons. And it was a video that I had watched once, and I cannot remember this girl's name. She was so beautiful, and she really hit the nail on the head. But she talked about why when you glow up and when your life elevates and change, oh my Lord, I'm pretty sure y'all can hear that. Why you shouldn't, I'm ready for them to go. Why you shouldn't let go of your friends when your life is elevated, because she talks about how you remember when people glow up, they'll let go of all their friends, and then they'll get new and better, feel like they got newer and better ones because they're in this season, but they really don't be that. But she really taught the importance of being friends with your friends regardless of what stages of life you are in. And this helped me so much look at all my friendships after this point, because there was a period in time, y'all gotta look at it, when you go through different seasons and you're really going through one of them seasons that you got the wrong type of friends, and you got these friends that's just so unhealed and not healthy. And of course we're all gonna have some parts that's unhealed of us, but it's a certain level that I don't know how to explain. It's very basic. It's some basic things, to what I'm saying. And I don't want to pinpoint anything on anything, but I feel like y'all know what I'm saying. Those toxic friends that just don't care about you, they talk about you behind your back, many things like that. And y'all, I went through a season like that for 2 years. 2 years worth of people that I really thought was really cool and down. No. And then some of them had a hand on getting me fired at my old job too as well, which was lies. But at the same time, I was like, these was people that was close to me and my friends, and they initially turned their back and this and that. And mainly because people are in their emotions about stuff and was upset. But at the same time, I can't say that I didn't have a hand in it. My thing is, when I see people, when I was in this stage, sometimes when we see people acting a certain way, we automatically assume they feel a certain type of way instead of going and talking to them. So I realized that I have to directly talk to my friends directly about stuff. Now, I am happy that I'm not friends with these people, because even with the type of person I am, we still wouldn't be good friends, because they wouldn't know how to have a healthy relationship, because they are still stuck in childhood womb mode. Okay, now, but what I recognize this, like this, I'm not going to only talk about this relationship, but I recognize, remember when I did another video and I talked about why we should do random acts of kindness. So this is the mode of, like, this falls in this too, because you initially send messages to like your friends and family. That's where you start, okay? And then you want to initially go to random people, and you know, or you could just go ahead and tell random people. Like, I do that all the time, but I start with friends and family. And the thing was, I feel like you keep a friendship strong, like when you express to this person how you feel, and also letting them know that you thank them for being in your life, and you thank them, you give them reasons on why you're thanking them, and reason why they're there. And the reason why I value this friendship with this woman that I'm talking about is because when I went through this season of darkness where she could have completely left me, not asked me and not cared for me, not helped me kind of get back nursed to health. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for her being there for me, I don't know how would I feel. I wouldn't know what a real friend is like. And it's like, because we have this in our mind, and we make up these decisions that no one can help us, and we shouldn't talk about it, and we, you know, I realized that God had given me a friend that I could talk to this about, like, that understood but also helped me in this process. And that's the reason why I say all the time, like, we have to stay prayed up, because if we stay prayed up, and we are following under God, and God is living within us, we're going to be able to tell who's for us and who is not. This was in a season where God wasn't in me, so I didn't know who was there or not. And that's why I want to talk about the confusion about what is for you, and you thinking what is for you and what is not. You don't really know, because you're confused 9 times out of 10, because you're constantly questioning everything and you're not surrendered to God. And I feel like once you surrender to God, you're not so confused. Like, everything just purely makes sense sometimes. Sometimes some stuff don't, but it works itself out. But I feel like when it comes to certain things, y'all know what I'm saying. If you're a child of God, okay? Now, and I realized in this friendship, I hate in my mind that I was thinking so long ago that I just didn't want to be friends with her, and I didn't want her trying to talk to me about anything. And a level of this could be your ego as well. And I feel like a lot of us have to work on our ego. Like, and maybe I'll make a separate video of that. But also, I just want to go back off that video that the woman talked about, why when you glow up, don't ever leave your friends. So finally I got out of that, whatever that little funk that I was in. Life was great, because you know, seasons are like that. Everything was great, but you know what I was so much more grateful for? That I still had my friend there on the other side once I made it on the other side. Like, and the crazy part is, she was going through her own season of things too. And then after that, she went through more things after I was going through what I was going through. And a lot of times what goes through your mind is, when other people goes through things, you want to initially see your way out, because somebody sounds so hurt sometimes. I realize, like, people can sound so hurt and traumatized and traumatic about stuff, and when they explain it to you, I realize that sometimes you get scared and you don't know how to talk to your friends about how they're feeling in this and that. But I really think the biggest thing is really being there for them. And it's just, when she went through her season and stuff, it's like, I was so worried about her. And this is for like all of my friends, when they go through these certain seasons, I be so worried about them. And sometimes they don't know, because I'm very good at masking like how I feel about certain things, and I know how to talk to people without letting them know fully how I feel at the moment. But it's like, it's just weird. I just knew what, it's not really weird, but it's just, I knew what to do in the friendship. I knew to give her space, but I knew at the same time when I needed to be there 100%. Let me say it like that. And sometimes it's like, if it's like a God-given relationship, then God, it gives you all the tools to help that person and get them nursed back to health, if I could say that. And it was certain stuff that I had to say to her. It was certain stuff that I had to do in order to get her to a position that she's in today. And let me just say it like that. It's just like with any relationship in your life, God gives you all the tools, the right words to say for this person in the season to get them out of the funk. And the thing was, when she sat in this funk was for so long, I was so worried about her, but I also prayed over her and her family and her sisters. And I don't know how to like go too much in detail, but it's just, when you go through these seasons, do not be quick to leave, because to me, I learned that that's very cowardly. That's very coward, especially if this is a good friend. And also, if you like up living your life and you just leave good friends because you feel like they don't fit an image, I just feel like that's very cowardly and that's egotistic. I just don't like that. Like, no, continue to be friends with the people you have friends with. And I feel like the main thing when it comes to having a friendship, make sure y'all have boundaries. You know, make sure y'all have a conversation on, this is what I can do right now and this is all I can do. This is the only This is the only communication I can have right now. This is all I can do. I'm realizing like you have to keep nursing your friendships just like you have to nourish any relationship. And you have to make time for your friends. And my thing is, I was like, and I realized like a lot of times I was very cowardly before I met her. I was very cowardly because I realized that I didn't know how to voice my opinion to these other friends, and I didn't know how to create boundaries. And maybe we should talk about boundaries, because you need a lot of boundaries, especially when you're a Christian, because some people will try to push you to a certain limit. So maybe we'll talk about boundaries, but tomorrow. But like I was saying, like a lot of times, if you don't know what it is that you want or who you are, you're gonna let people walk all over you because you don't know. And it got to a point where I didn't create good boundaries with any of these friendships. So no wonder why they went the way they went, although these people weren't very healthy. But I really do feel like creating boundaries in a relationship is very important too as well. And also just expressing to your friend what you need from her. It's just like any relationship, even if it's a guy, expressing your needs with certain stuff. If you don't want them to talk about certain subjects. Now, obviously, if you know your friend very well and you know they're getting to a point where it's stuff that might need to be said to them, God will let you know. God, oh, there's a baby squirrel. God will let you know, okay? And I had figured that out like just as time went. But also, it's just the video that the lady made about not I don't know what they doing, but the video about like not letting go of your friends once you elevate your life, I just feel like that's just for me, I feel like that's just so important, because a lot of people do that. They get in new stages of their life and they let their friends go, and I feel like you should always keep your good friendships in a line. And y'all know what I do on a daily basis just to make sure I'm keeping communication with my friends, or like weekly basis. I text them just to tell them to have a good day, to let them know that I'm thinking about them. And that's the reason why I was telling y'all about the random acts of kindness. Like sometimes it could just be sending a message to your friend, telling them to have a good day and everything like that. And I do that a lot because I don't want any of my friends to feel like I don't have time for them and this and that. And I am in a very busy season. But when you're in a busy season, the best thing that's going to help you is communication. And the next thing would be is please plan out that time to talk to them. I got a friend I got to talk to right now, and I got to plan a time to talk to her, because I was supposed to been call her like 2 weeks ago. Then I had a test, and then I had all of that, and it was just so much. So this weekend on my agenda, if she has time for me, is to talk to her. But like I said, and then also I feel like a lot of people are lazy in relationships, and that might be a reason why people are not very successful or find very good friends, because they are very lazy. And sometimes some friends be friends with people because of what they got, and I'm not. So I feel like the friends you should look for is people who genuinely love you for you, but you need some friends that are going to hurt your feelings sometime and tell you the truth. You also need some friends that you can listen to and take advice from. This has to be a give and take relationship. Like I talk about this all the time, that's the way God works. You have to do a little bit of something to show who you are in the beginning. You have to do a little bit of something, and God will take it the rest of the way. That's why I talk about the foundation of friendships. I'm so sorry, y'all, because I'm like very emotional about this, because I'm really thinking about the season I went through, and then also my friend and her season, and it was just a lot on our relationship, y'all. It was a lot, and I just, and even though we go through so many phases of friendships, because sometimes you go through phases of friendship, and you don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to continue being friends with people, because you don't know, because you go through so many phases. The best thing I like to say is just communicate. Let's talk about this. Always talk about how you feel, so y'all can figure out what it is that y'all need to do on y'all part. My thing is, if a friend wants to be there, they're willing to work on your relationship. They're willing to work on it. They're willing to respect your boundaries, and they love you unconditionally. Like, I don't know any way to say it. And that's why I feel like a lot of my friends that I have are God-given friendship, because I feel like they were placed in my life for a reason. Okay. Now, there is other aspects that I could talk about, but I just really want to talk about this main thing. I really just want to talk about why you should be there for them, and why you shouldn't let people go just because of what the world or how the world is looking or saying. And I really feel like people don't realize you have to fight for everything in your life. You do. But it doesn't have to be hard, okay? Especially when you have God in your life. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. Nothing is too hard. Nothing is too complicated. You just have to be tapped into God, and He's going to show you the way. It may feel like that in seasons. It's going to be seasons of time. Everything is going to look different than what you see right now. And the best thing to do is keep communication, stay prayed up for one, and make sure you just showing love in every possible way that you can, okay? And I'm also a little stuffy, y'all, because like I feel like I'm low-key got like a little cold, and I think that's what that is. But to say all of that, it's just sometimes, and the reason why I talk about this specific friendship is because me and this specific friendship been through so many seasons, and it's been times that I just didn't know what to do and wanted to just leave because I didn't know what to do. And like I said, that's very cowardly. And I'm like, the best thing when you hit into those modes, have the conversation with your friends, because we have doubts just like anything else in life. You hit into doubt moments, and that's a moment that I hit into, and I didn't know how to help. I didn't know what to say to make the situation better, and I didn't know anything. But I realized what I had to do is pray about it, and then I had to give it time, because a lot of people don't understand that sometimes it takes times for things to happen and to move and there to be progression. But I feel like with the right communication, the right conversation, asking the right questions, and also prayer is going to be everything that you need when it comes to any relationship in life. And I really want to tell my friend right now, I just love her so much. If she ever watched this video, I just want to let her know that how much I love her, how much I cherish her, and how much I cannot thank her enough for being there for me. I'm not gonna say her name because people probably figure out who she is, but anyway, but I have to talk about that. And also, don't seek having friends and validation because they may be cool or a lot of people like them or this and that. No, be friends with the people that's gonna be in your corner in a time when you're sick, in health, and in need. Because like I said, everything is a 50-50 relationship. Do your part and the other person will. If the other person don't do their part, you pray about it, God will remove. Okay? This is a very powerful prayer that people should pray over. God, if this and that don't belong in my life, please remove it with harm to none. Make sure you mention those words. We don't want anybody to be removed with anything, but make sure they're removed with harm to none. Like, you know, and let them be. And sometimes you can put please remove them gracefully or without me even kind of knowing, and it impacting my life in a big way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to learn to use your words whenever you're praying about certain things. But and my thing is, if you're in a friendship right now and it's toxic, my advice to y'all is go ahead and see your way out, because a lot of times you'll do a lot better without being friends with those. And I feel like they cause you to sin a lot. And let me tell you why I say that, because a lot of times you're going to be cussing or lie, or you might, I don't know, you are like, and a lot of things that people don't really realize too, like, you are your friends. Like, however your friends are, how they act, you know, you are initially them. Y'all get along and y'all friends for a reason, right? And so that's the reason why I have to keep good people around me, because of the simple fact they are a reflection of me, but they're very different from me. Okay, let me get that out there. Like, all of my friends are so completely different, completely opposite, like, type of people. But if I was to put all of them in a room just for me in there, they will all get along. Like, I'm telling you, they probably will talk about me in a good way, but it'll be funny. Okay. And so I'm saying that all to say is, when you have the right friends, you will know it, like, life is just, it's different. And you also have people you can rely on and talk to. And also, when the seasons come up, you have somebody in your corner besides God. Because like I told you, God is going to send the people in your life that you need, that you can have these hard conversations with, these things that you got on your mind, your plate. People think you're crazy for feeling and thinking, but these people will reassure to you this or that, and they'll help you understand, how can we do much better? Sometimes you got to look at it like this, Bree. Sometimes you got to do it this way, Bree. Sometimes you can't understand that, Bree. Sometimes we just cannot do this, like this, Bree. Like, and I need that in my life. I don't need anybody to sugarcoat anything for me. I need reality. I need real, and I need to be centered and focused in this body and in this time now. So, like I said, y'all, put y'all friends through a freaking resume if you guys. And also, I did want to talk about this judging. And I know in the Bible it does say, like, God does not want you to judge a person. But let me tell you, this is the good manipulation, y'all. You do have to be very judgmental when it comes to your relationships. Now, I'm not saying judging on what they have or judging on what they look like and stuff, but it's all about their heart. Are these good people? That's where you need to be. Because my thing is, you don't want, and the reason why, because people will feel so bad because they'd be like, oh, don't judge me, blah, 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 this and that. No, but we do have to judge our relationship, because initially what is around you is going to impact you and affect you. And if you want to be, and this is the thing, granted, if this is a long-term friend, this is a different thing. Now, if this is an unhealthy relationship and this friendship is on the brink of collapse, or it will be at some point, and you could tell, then you need to do what you got to do. You have to be this way. You have to. Like, I know people be like, oh, judgment is not for us, but it's for God. But my thing is, will you let an unhealthy person sit around you and you be friends and talk about you and this and that? I'm just saying. Just really think about that, because I know a couple of you probably done had friends like that wasn't good, took from you. They speak bad about you, talk about you to other people. You have to be a judgment of character when it comes to that. So you do have a choice and you do have a decision, okay? So, yes, you do have to judge sometimes. You do. Because, and then on top of that, we're humans. It's natural instinct. It's natural behavior. Just make sure you're judging them in a correct way and not solely based off looks and materials. And that's all I'm trying to get at. Now, I'm coming to the end of my video. I'm finna head in, and I really hope that helped y'all the best possible way it possibly can. I hope so. I want to tell each and every one of you, I love you. Make sure you pray in all that you do, and I will see y'all in the next video.